Let me start off with something you really don't often hear in these sessions. Teradata, Oracle, Netezza, they were all masterpieces. They were built to last, right? These platforms powered some of the most complex enterprise data operations in the world for the last 2 to 3 decades. Right? Brilliant platforms ran enterprises for decades. Those decisions of choosing these platforms taken those days were right. But the world has changed. The platforms didn't fail, but the assumptions expired. Right? We see 3 shifts: volume exploded, latency collapsed, and AI has arrived. It's not optional, it's foundational. Legacy warehouses weren't built for that. So why modernize? 4 different pressures, all compounding. I mean, this is what we see at our client locations that we have worked, that we are working, and then some customers we are talking to. Performance, which is basically a fixed capacity. Scale means overpaying or waiting, so time lost. Cost grows every year, 15 to 30%, depending on the platform that you have, regardless of the value that you can get out of these platforms. AI, not native for these platforms. Everything becomes a workaround or a bolt-on, and you're locked in. It's proprietary everything, and talent is walking away from these legacy skills and moving into next-gen skills. The costs up, performance capped, AI slowed, time to make decisions not fast, talent is shrinking. None of this improves by waiting. So the question is no longer should we modernize. That question is done. The question is actually, how do you actually do it without disruption? This is where reality matters. This is not lift and shift. Each platform is different. Each platform has their own nuances. Oracle, heavy logic needs redesign, not translation. Teradata, scale, scripts, BTech, TPT, hundreds of workloads to move. Netezza, subtle risk, easiest of all the 3 other platforms. Queries run, results can be wrong. You still see results, but the results can be wrong. So the complexity is real, but it's known. And known complexity is solvable with the right approach. So the real question is, how do you move fast without breaking trust?
Thank you, Bhargav, for bringing up those challenges with legacy data warehouses. And those are the exact challenges that even we do see from all of our customers. Costs are rising. There is no default AI infused. There's no unification of the platform. Governance is still a challenge. Openness of the formats, vendor lock-in, all of those are essentially the challenges that we do as well see. And let me walk you through how Databricks exactly solves all of these challenges and helps customers migrate from their legacy platforms over to modern platforms such as Databricks. The very first thing about Databricks, it's all built on open formats: Delta Lake, Iceberg, Spark, Postgres. So there's going to be no vendor lock-in. There's going to be no hardware lock-in for the customers. There is no proprietary data format in which your data is going to get stored. So the very first challenge of being openness, Databricks definitely address it as its base component. Second biggest challenge is a unified governance across your entire data estate. Not just your data, structured data, but also your unstructured data, all the files that reside in your data estates, your machine learning models, your AI agents, and everything that is part of your data estate. All of those components are completely governed by Unity Catalog, a full-grown product on Databricks. Does auditing of your assets. You can do access controls, role-based, attribute-based. You get to see full lineage, data discovery, observability, all of the features which a modern enterprise data governance should have. All of those are there in Unity Catalog. On top of it, we built Lakehouse, which is our data warehousing platform, which essentially provides you much dramatic lower TCO. So total cost of ownership definitely reduces by adopting to data warehousing on Databricks. Most of these legacy data warehouses have coupled, very tightly coupled storage and compute. But Databricks' elastic cloud native model delivers proven savings. The platform is completely unified, which means you can bring in structured data, unstructured data, you can do data engineering, data warehousing, build your machine learning models, build your AI agents. So you don't really have to look at multiple different platforms, but just do everything on one single platform. And the third thing really is about the performance and elastic scalability. As you mentioned, Bhargav, like EDW appliances hit scaling wall because they're tightly coupled with their storage, compute, memory. The Databricks scales elastically, and that essentially solves that challenge as well. Another challenge that you mentioned is about AI. Databricks has AI with enterprise context. It's built in each and every product of Databricks. Genie essentially is a tool or a product that lets your enterprise users talk to your data in their natural language and see the results directly from there. That way they don't have to have knowledge about programming languages or even SQL or anything else. They can just communicate with their data in their natural language. Databricks also provides a platform to build your own agents if you want to do DIY kind of agents, or if you want to rely on agents developed by Databricks. We have AgentBricks platform, which has information extraction, knowledge assistant, a multi-agent supervisor to supervise multiple of your agents. And the last leg in your consumption really is all of your BI, your dashboards and things like that. Databricks also provides a platform for that. We have AI-assisted BI, using which you can build dashboards directly within Databricks itself. Again, your data will not move, still governed by Unity Catalog, and you still stay within Databricks to do all of those things. And the last one really is building any custom application, custom web applications. You can develop those, deploy those directly on the Databricks platform and use Lakebase, which is our serverless Postgres offering. You can use that as your backend RDBMS or a transactional database as well.
Okay, thank you, Vishal. Hi everyone. So I'm going to talk about NetUnis. So this is the platform or a set of accelerators that we have built. It has many things, but one of the things that I am going to walk you through is about the migration assistant. As we are living in the agentic AI world, this is a mix of LLM-based code converters as well as a nice blend of data engineering solutions. So this NetUnis migration assistant is built around three accelerators, which is assessment. Any migration or the modernization journey you start, I'm talking about a large scale modernization, it is extremely important to capture the detailed level of the inventory. Okay, so assessment comes very, very crucial. So for this, we have one agent which actually calls internally a tool, which actually gets the automated inventory from the metadata. No data is required for collection of the inventory. Second is a repeatable code converter component, which is again a mix of rule based as well as LLM based. We fall back to LLM only when it's a very complex and which requires complex convergence. It falls back to the LLMs for doing the convergence. And after the conversion is done, we don't stop it there. Most of the tools that you see in the market, they stop it at the conversion, but we also work on something called as action verification or the post validation. This verifies, and it's like a gate diff where you can see the how your code is getting converted. So this particular NetUnis migration assistant works at completely metadata layer, and it is flexible set of tools which any automation suite can plug it into it. Okay, so in any modernization at scale that you can think of, there is a lot of synergies are required from multiple teams. So like the customers, the Ness team, as well as the team who are actually doing the conversion, which is data architects as well as data engineers, plus the expert review. So people who have rich experience in data analytics systems, they can come and validate if the LLMs are failing at any cost, because we know that LLMs are non-deterministic in nature. So this is the process map that we follow and we recommend for doing any of the large scale migrations. Very first thing is gathering the inventory. and preparing the metadata. So this is completely automated. This is completely rule-based. Okay, and this is mix of manual plus human in the loop approach, where the customer as well as the Ness is involved. Second is the analysis. So analysis is completely automated. You can run, very complex. So we had one customer who was running, who was having 15,000 Teradata SQL and TPT and BTEC scripts. So this analysis component could run the entire analysis and give it detailed reports within few minutes of time. The third is a conversion, which is non-deterministic in nature because it hits the LLMs, and it actually does the code conversion. This is a lengthy component because it is actually doing the hard work, and this is the main brain of the automation. The fourth is, we bring in the experts or the reviewers who look at the code converted and they tweak the rules for a given subject area, and the automation process of at step number 3 could be repeated. Okay, so this is a repeatable migration. So we had ingested 2 files, and 2 files are converted. There are no errors that it has found. If there are any errors, those would be flagged over here with some certain reasoning. So here I am looking at this particular file, and as you can see, this is the source system, which is Teradata. This is the target Databricks SQL, and you can see some of the constructs which are specific to Teradata has been nicely eliminated in the target, and it has also given the comments, why it has removed this particular with the reasoning. Okay, so for this particular customer, when we ran this, so as you can see, entire SQL is nicely converted. We got 98% accuracy and the coverage for this thing. Some of the things which we were not able to convert, they were left to the humans and the expert to review it and finalize it. Okay, so these 2 files have been converted over here. Now we don't stop it at that particular point in time. We come here, and now you can see the third tool is enabled, which is run validator. So it is going to run the validator, and it is going to compare the source and the target. Now take it to the scale. Now you have thousands of files, and it is very laborious for any human to validate individual files. So now you can see the accuracy viewer. It has been enabled. The overall accuracy is 100% in this particular case because we wanted to pass only the simple and medium complex files, but you can pass any number of the files.
Thank you, Saranga, and hope everybody enjoyed the session and had some learnings. Right, for us, every day is a learning. Different customers, different industries, different use cases. So this really is your playbook, right? You start with clarity, know what to move, and most importantly, what not to move. Use of AI and automation. So with NetUnis, all that is embedded into it. So you remove the guesswork. You learn as you go. So there is a feedback. You feed that back into NetUnis. It keeps learning. So it's AI based. So leverage that. And most importantly, this is where we think, a lot of migrations fail, right? It's not because of technology, not because of tools, right? It's getting business team, tech team, and come together because speed doesn't come from tools alone, right? It needs collaboration. It needs, alignment between these teams, right? So if you get this right, modernization stops being a risk and starts becoming an advantage. That's what we have seen at many customers, and we'll be happy to help you guys with. So where do you start, right? You really don't start big, right? You start smart, not small. You start smart. Access what you have. Run a small sample through NetUnis. You see the translation. You see the effort. You see the outcome. And then you basically spin up a trial, benchmark it yourself, right? It's all kind of, we can help you. We can, when you're ready, you just bring us in and we'll guide you through the process, right? Because this doesn't have to be a multi-year leap like Vishal talked about. It can be a series of, confident steps that you take. Sooner you start, the faster you get ahead and beat the competition.